Hey, good morning. This is chapter 6, effective listening, and I thought we would do this one a little differently this week, a little differently. You have the textbook, you have the PowerPoint slide presentation that's attached to the initial little announcement slide of the learning unit, the very first thing. So this time I'm just going to highlight a couple of things, but we're going to start off with a quiz. So if you need to pause the video to go get a pencil and a piece of paper, go do that. And when you're ready, we will start. And it's a 10-item quiz. It's important for you to understand that I will not repeat. Are you ready? Number 1. Some months have 31 days. Some months have 30 days. How many months have 28 days? Number 2. You are the pilot of a plane flying between New York and Chicago. The co-pilot's wife is 3 years older than the pilot's wife. The interior of the plane is blue. The seats are red. How old is the pilot? Number 3, if a doctor gave you 3 pills and told you to take one every half hour, how long would the pills last? Number 4, if a farmer had 17 sheep and all but 9 die, how many sheep has the farmer got left? Number 5, you are a baby bull in need of a hug. To whom do you go? Mama bull or Papa bull? Number 6, if you take 2 apples away from 3 apples, how many apples do you have? 7. How many members of each species did Moses take aboard the ark? Number 8, if you were to dig a hole 1 meter long by 1 meter wide that was 1 meter deep, how much soil would there be in the hole in meters cubed? Yes or no to number 9. Does England have a 4th of July? Number 10. A garden had exactly 50 different flowers, including 10 kinds of roses, 3 kinds of sweet peas, 9 kinds of alyssum, 5 kinds of carnations, 3 kinds of zinnias, 8 kinds of poppies, 4 kinds of snapdragons, 3 kinds of gladiolas, 6 kinds of phlox. How many different flowers did the garden have? Okay, that's it for the quiz. So you can grade yourself and keep your score private and let's see how well you do. So number 1, some months have 31 days, some have 30 days. How many months have 28 days? I hope you put all 12. All 12 have at least 28 days. Most have more. Number 2, you are a pilot of a plane flying between New York and Chicago, blah, blah, blah. How old is the pilot? The answer is your age, because I started off and said you are the pilot. Number 3, if a doctor gave you 3 pills and told you to take one every half hour, how long would the pills last? Well, you take one. Half an hour later, you take another. Half an hour later, you take the third. Therefore, the pills last 1 hour. Number 4, if a farmer had 17 sheep and all but 9 die, how many sheep does he have left? 9. If you did the subtraction and the math and came up with 8, you just really like to do math. Number 5, you're a baby bull and you need a hug. And certainly I hope you went to Papa Bull, because there's no such thing as a female bull, because all bulls are male. Number 6, if you take 2 apples away from 3 apples, how many apples do you have? Well, you took 2, so you have 2 apples. And this one, number 7, I won't even ask how many may get this one wrong. How many members of each species did Moses take aboard the ark? The answer is 0, because of course it was Noah, not Moses. Number 8, if you were to dig a hole 1 meter long, 1 meter wide, 1 meter deep, how much soil would there be in the hole in meters cubed? Well, holes don't have soil in them. That's why it's a hole. So the answer is none. Does England have a 4th of July? Number 9, of course they do. They just simply don't celebrate it the way we do. Number 10, the answer was in the very first sentence I said, because you were asked how many kinds of flowers, but I began with saying a garden had 50 kinds of flowers. So if you got 10 out of 10, well then you rock, and you should be teaching. I didn't get 10 out of 10 when I took this the first time. Some of you, I won't even ask. But anyways, that just is sort of a fun way to look at the importance of listening and how we all need to grow and get stronger in that skills. It's the number one reason it's the number one activity that we tend to engage in, communication activity. If you think about it, first thing you do when you get in your car, turn the radio on. When you get home, if you live in a dorm, an apartment, one of the first things people do is turn the radio on. As a student, your listening ability is critical to your success as a student. On the job, I mean, there are a myriad of situations, innumerable situations, both relationally, professionally, where listening is absolutely critical. So your book discusses the different types of listening, the differences between listening and hearing, and then goes into importance, and then talks about reasons we tend to be lousy listeners, reasons we don't generally do very well at it. And a lot of it simply comes from the idea that we just don't give listening the importance that it warrants. We don't give it enough attention, enough effort to improve, and we mistakenly assume that we can listen with the same degree of energy required for hearing, which is very little. Hearing is passive, listening is active. Um, in the reasons we tend to be lousy listener, there's something called the listening gap. That's important. People tend to speak at about 150 to 200 words per minute. We can listen to between 600 and 800 words per minute. So what's coming in is 150. What you're capable of processing is 800. No wonder we get mentally bored. You're in a lecture, and this is so much faster than what you're getting, and so therefore you're staring out the window. You're thinking about going out to dinner with a friend. You're chewing on a test you had that morning and an essay question you think you screwed up. Your mind just goes because of the listening gap. Now, interestingly enough, another WPM, when you take notes, that's typically 25 words per minute. So all of a sudden that seems really slow compared to what you're getting. That's why you need to take notes in shorthand. Never ever write in full sentences when you take notes in a lecture. But anyways, there's more suggestions offered for improving your listening in the chapter. It's a very practical chapter. I think it can make a tremendous amount of personal difference, as well as just the content you need to know for this class. I hope that you find it useful and that your life can improve in a lot of ways because of the principles talked in the chapter. So that's it for now. Have a terrific day. I will talk to you later. Bye.